Demon-faced girl, bloody spaghetti. People always ask me about my walk. Whenever someone asks me why I walk, I come up with some story. Breaking my legs, sometimes the stories are mundane, others are just straight up crazy inventions of mine. I don't even expect people to believe me. Once I told someone I had a friend run over my leg with his truck to get his hands on a supply of painkillers. I know that's not how it works, but the lady believed me. The reasons I have a limp, man, now I definitely a strange one. It's a strange story. I didn't realize to share it with anyone for the years because I didn't entertain for sure, even if I remember it correctly. When I was younger, I used to drink a lot. By a lot, I mean I used to get pissed drunk and pass out wherever, whenever. Had little regard for my health or imagine how to spend my free time drinking myself away. On one such occasion, I found myself barely able to stand upright. With an empty bottle of Jack in hand, somehow I had gotten myself into this rundown little cabin out of town. It was late, and completely drunk out of my mind. There was nowhere else to go. I could see assuming it an abandoned building, so I let myself in and passed on a pile of cardboard. I passed out, although I woke up before sunrise when I felt someone watching me, half asleep, probably still drunk, not defining my mind. I saw a little girl sitting beside me. She was staring in my direction. Her bright blue eyes were tearing through the darkness of the night beyond the piercing stare. She seemed pretty normal. My mind didn't have time to digest what was happening before my eyes. The lower part of her face, exposed jaw muscles, largely bloody teeth, grinned at me as the lower part of her face had begun to divulge. My heart immediately rose, and I began to feel ants crawling over my skin. The adrenaline rush cleared out of my alcohol system. Everything became painfully clear. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to piss my pants or to be blunt. A whirlwind spun through my mind. Dreadful thoughts and unmanaged horrors plagued my brain. Those thoughts of moments she seemed to notice me. I woke it up and she started staring at me wall. Seeing her lack of attention, I decided it must have been the alcohol-induced nightmare. Perhaps my body was starting to tell me it was time to give up on the bottle, to close my eyes, and hopefully fall asleep again. Sleep wouldn't come for a while, as mental monsters of fear kept running circles inside my brain, and the adrenaline in my system kept tasing and vigilant. Eventually, my body finally collapsed under its own pressure, and I passed out once again. Waking up in the morning, I realized once again alone. There was no monster staring at me, no mouth girl, there was nobody, just a hangover time. I woke up feeling like someone had stuffed a sand in my throat, coughing it up, realizing a thick layer of dust was everywhere. I had cleared my throat the best I could. I got up all groggily, walking around amazingly. I was trying to adjust my pounding demons in my head. I stumbled around until I came across a tiny room filled with a sea, a hanging car, of air fresheners, that vents had been tiny air trees. There must have been hundreds and thousands of them. That slightly piqued my curiosity, and I swayed my body into that tiny room. In the room, there was only a bed. On the bed, there was a person, for a lack of better term. There was a deathly pale, deadly thin, the slight of the skin painfully peeled against their vibrant skeleton, made my stomach twist into a knot. Their hair on the back of their neck stand. Their countless pressure ulcers decaying their ghastly skin. With each passing moment, I felt myself breathing heavier. Goosebumps ran across my skin over and over again, like an icy breeze careless on my arms and necks. I was trembling, and the fear most made me forget about my headache, replacing it with perpetual heartburn. The bodily suddenly moved. It bolted upward unexpectedly. That memory is buried into my psyche. I let out this awful, ear-piercing squirrel cry. I thought I might die. My body seized up of everything. I spun forward. For half a second, I felt myself losing balance, and then everything faded away. Everything but the feeling of the pounding headache in the back of my neck. And this is the bone-breaking, burning sensation left in the back of my leg. After that, I remember little to this day. I don't know what had happened after that for sure. I know that that girl was there, although now her face seemed to be entirely normal. In my memories, I know that there was blood there. There was botching of some sorts. I know she took care of me. I don't know what had happened in the cabin. All I know to that this day that I woke up in a hospital not knowing my name. All I know that I had got there and not knowing how I got my leg messed up. And I don't know for how long it's been disconnected for the rest of the world either. I couldn't keep up with the dates for the longest time. Some days I still can't remember to keep proper track of time. Eventually, I regained my memories from before the incident in the cabin. Not much during that time, though. Sometimes in which I see faces and I hear voices. Usually they are hers. The face of a young woman with piercing blue eyes, sometimes normal, sometimes half demonic. Her voice was calm and charming, mesmerizing soprano. She used to sing to me. I remember bits of beautiful melodies. I can't fully recall. The loss of recollection is sometimes so frustrating it makes me want to scratch my own brain. It's scary sometimes. She had this charming North European snort of her accent to speech, repeating her Z's and S's and G's and J's and crazily Y sounding. Sometimes mentally photographing of a man's face pop up in my mind, usually controlled in pain. Rarely I'm alone. I can hear voices of men moaning in agony of the girl's semiotic, incoherent words of her father. In the moments, I almost could see her hands of wrapping themselves around me as I shudder in discomfort. Sometimes the memories make me cry. They eat away at me. What if I had hurt someone? What if I had done something awful? I'm not that kind of person. I refuse to be that kind of human being. God, it hurts so hard being to this powerless. I feel almost like a zombie under pernicious control of a despite which I hate it, but I can't do anything about it. Simply, whenever people ask me about my strange limp, I lie because I'm not sure how I got it. The demon-faced girl maybe did something to me besides crawl her way into my mind. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe.